Drum roll, please.
So today we're talking about feeling guilty when you're going out without your kids.
Woo.
As we can see the obvious, there's car seats in the back. We don't have any kids. So, feeling guilty when you go out without your kids.
Mom guilt.
Mom guilt. And even dad guilt too.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, some dads. Some. Very few. But if you guys see me twitching, I'm probably pressing the imaginary brake. For those of you who know how my sister drives, you know how my sister drives.
No.
But it just reminded us we've had a long time without going out together, and we were talking about it. We're excited about it, and we're reminded about just a few weeks ago, my sister had went out with her friend, and her friend is a mother of twins, and she also has how old is her baby? Like a year or two? A year. And her twins are about 4 or 5 years old, so she has a lot on her hands. And I remember my sister mentioning to me that she was so excited, but she kind of felt a little like nervous. She felt a little nervous about going out, and it was funny because I remember her today, because even as we were getting ready, I even started feeling a little nervous. And my kids are older. Sometimes as moms, our priority is our family, our children. If you're married, your husband, your couple, that we kind of forget ourselves. We kind of forget that we're more than a mom. We're more than a wife. We're more than, the housemaker. And before we were married, before we had children, we tend to forget that person that we were before.
I'm kind of lost.
You're lost?
Can you check the map, please?
Okay. Oh, yeah, you are lost. Let me see. So she's lost, you guys. Okay, so you're going to exit right here.
This is another part. Are you sure you put the right address? I've gotten used to going out now. When I do take a long time being out, like let's say I leave in the day and I don't come back till late, which is rare, but I think that's when I start getting really anxious towards the night, because I'm just wondering, like, do my kids miss me or I miss them? So I know if I miss them, my kids, I hope they miss me. So you still get worried, even though you know they're gonna be 100% safe. They're with grandma, they're fine, nothing's gonna happen. You just feel that like stomach ache almost, So what do we do to help?
Just go out. Get over it. No, but you know what? It's just interesting. I don't know if you guys seen recently that there's been quite a few moms, and it's incredible to think this, but there's been some moms that, one of them, first of all, she left her kid at home for an entire week.
She left her baby in the, what did they call it?
Like the playpen.
Not the playpen, but they had like a...
Yeah, she left her baby in the playpen. She put, a few, I guess whatever she thought the baby would need for a week. She put a few meals in there, a few bottles in there. Point being that by the time she got back, the baby was no longer with us. The baby had passed away. And one might think it's easy to see from the outside in, and it's easy to say, man, like, how dumb, like, why would she do something like that? How selfish of her. But then, and I'm not justifying in any way what she did. I think what she did was really wrong. Find yourself people that are okay being around your kids. Maybe she's in another group. Maybe her friends are all single. I know for a time it was kind of hard in the beginning, and I say my sister because I got married really young and I was a mom, and I never really went out, to be honest with you. But I know that my sister for a while was kind of hard because her friends, I think from her friend group, she was like the first one to have kids. So her friends were still talking about, let's go out, let's go party, let's go do this, and my sister was in a whole different ball game already.
find me, but it was like, hey, we're going out at 9 p.m. I'm like, oh my goodness. I was like, that is impossible for me. So it was really hard. I went through a lot to the point that I had to delete my Instagram. I didn't want to see like what they were doing because it would hurt me. And it's not like I was able to go to them and tell them, hey, you know, it kind of hurt me that you guys went out. And because, I mean, they're not doing anything bad. They're still going out there. They can, you know. So it was pretty tough. And all I have to say for that is, moms, if you guys are a new mom, you guys have to find a group with other babies and try to find a group within the age group. I remember that I tried hanging out with my friend whose kid was a lot older than my baby's, and it just didn't work. Like, I could tell that it was kind of hard and almost frustrating because her son wanted to do something and my babies could barely even walk. So I felt like there was some type of frustration, and not between us, just overall, like, oh, you know, I kind of have to play with him, you know, different, or I could tell. But so ladies, you have to find a group to have play dates with. It is so important, and it is important that you find someone that can help in the sense of helping you babysit. It is important. I'm not saying go out every weekend or every month, or, you know, but once in a while, and even if it's just to get a breather, just to step out and take a walk, just to shower. I remember that when I had the boys, I used to take them in with me into the restroom while I was showering, and it was so hard. I used to have them there sitting and trying to entertain them and then shower at the same time. It was just hard, and I remember that I would cry because I didn't even have time for that. It was so frustrating. But thank God I do have a village. It's the twin village. Just kidding. But I do have a village that does help me, and a group of friends that we all have kind of kids around the same age. So it just works out, ladies. And you guys, everyone, men or female, you guys are able to join us. You guys are able to tell us. You guys, I know that there's men out there. I know single dads that also need play dates. Believe it or not. I remember when I first met the couple of men that I do know that are single dads, and you know, they would say, hey, let's go have a play date. I thought it was so weird that a man was asking me to go have a play date with their kids, because I'm so used to women asking me, like friends, but I've never, you know, had men ask me, and it's really nice. And I think that men need to be a little bit more open in the sense of having play dates with one another, like with their kids, and making that normal, because
getting over the embarrassment. Right?
Being vulnerable in that sense. It's okay if you guys need a friend group. Men need friends. So I think it is important. Everyone needs to have, you know, men or women need to have that group.
Yeah, I agree. And it's really sad that, who knows, like, I don't know this person that we mentioned in the beginning. I mean, she could have been a good mom and just made really dumb choices, or she could have just been a crappy mom from the get-go, you know. But it's just the desperation of maybe being young, and or maybe even not that young, but her first kid, early 30s, and it's like, you're so used to having this lifestyle, maybe perhaps even going out Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. All of a sudden now you're a mom, and for some of you, even a single mom, you know, that you don't have probably the support that you deserve, the support that you should have had. This is why it's important that, and I tell my daughter this because I have a 20-year-old, and I tell her, you know, she's single, and it's important that before you make the choice of possibly having a family with someone, it's important that you just, would you be proud of having a child like this person? Because believe it or not, we pick up traits. we pick up. It's been scientifically proven that even adoptive children that have never met their biological parents and were raised by adoptive parents in the best manner, they still pick up traits from their biological parents. So this is why we got to be important. We have to pay attention who we allow in our circle, who you produce with, who you have a child with, what type of choices, even your friend group. I'm pretty sure if this girl would have had better friends that would have told her, hey, just bring the baby with you. I mean, to go to Cabo, there's a beach.
They were probably in the airplane like, hey, who did you leave your baby with? Because I don't know about you guys, but that's one of my conversations. Like, where are your kids? Oh, I left them with my mom, or I left them with, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, the people who she was hanging out with, I mean, come on.
Yeah.
You know? But also, it is important that we know that it's normal to feel lonely when having children.
Yeah.
You're not physically lonely in the sense of like you don't have anyone. You have your kids.
Oh yeah.
But it's lonely. I had a friend who texted me once saying, I am so lonely, but I'm not. And I knew exactly what she meant.
You just missed that adult conversation. I remember when me and my husband, I mean, for those of you who have been watching, you know that I've been married for 20 years and it hasn't always been as easy. It's been some ups and downs, but I remember a time that we were separated, and I believe at that time we have 3 girls now, but I had 2 at that time. But even though it was busy, my life was busy. There was church, work, the kids, school, their school, homework, showering. There's just so much to do as a parent. But I remember having those feelings of, I just feel so lonely, even though I was so busy. And I wanted to like go out, and I wanted to have adult conversations, not more than Elmo and Sesame Street and Dora, you know, at that time. So yeah, I could just imagine, you know, that frustration. But it, like we said, it's important to get a good group. As we're headed over there to the Kings game, the hockey game, it's the first time for me, but it's just remembering that before you were a mom, before you were a wife, before you were the baby mama, you were you. What you like to do, what you like to spend your time in. And it's okay to have a day. It's okay to have a day for yourself. And, you know, let us know how you spend your time. It's beautiful when couples, you know, when they have kids and they spend time together. We do have a friend also that her and her husband, you know, go on vacation and they spend time together away from the kids whenever they can.
I'm like, take me with you.
And that's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing. But how does she spend time for herself without her having to be a wife, without her having to be a mom? How do you spend time with yourself? Do you still like the same things you used to? Have you discovered new traits about yourself, new hobbies, new interests? How would you even know if you don't invest that time in yourself? How would you even know, like, hey, I like this, or hey, I didn't notice I had this talent?
I know that for me, I found that I was really good at a lot of things.
Gosh, she's so humble, you guys.
No, but I didn't think I was a really good student until I started trying to be a student, and now I'm like, I don't want to stop going to school because I'm such a good student. Like things like that, like and it's scary and it's risky at first. You're scared. It's a scary feeling to be like, okay, I'm gonna get into something, and that means less time for my kids or whatever it is, but you're investing in yourself and you're finding yourself, and trust me that your kids are going to be okay with it in the future.
Yeah.
They will understand.
Yeah, it's a sacrifice that you make, and don't feel, sometimes we feel bad because I remember always saying, like, one day when my kids are older, I'm going to go to school when they're older, because you hang on to this guilt of, I'm going to go to work, go to school. They're at school. When am I even going to see my kids? And a lot of the times that fear holds us back. Because if I would have gone from the beginning, if I would have gone initially, who knows where life would have took me, you know? And that's why it is important that you start investing in yourself. That's one thing that's one of the goals for this year. And that's why one of the reasons why we started the podcast is because what other things do we have to offer? Not necessarily because anyone's gaining anything from this financially or anything like that, but how can we exceed in ways that are intimidating? Because it is intimidating to talk to you guys, to hear your opinions, for you guys to reach out. Maybe you guys might not agree with our points, or you might, or
we're in a vulnerable state.
Who knows? But it's taking those steps of being vulnerable, even going out, spending time with your friends, spending time with your husband, leaving your kids with your, let's say, your suegros, your father, mother-in-law, your parents, or someone that you trust, your sister, just for 2-3 hours to get away. Even those 2-3 hours, we feel guilty sometimes.
Yes, and the way that I started, just a little tip is, I started little by little. So I started with an hour, and I would leave them for an hour, and then I would call, and my mom wouldn't answer. Because she'll get really mad that I would call.
She'll say, I raised all these kids on my own. Who are you to tell me?
That's why I'm calling. No, I'm just
Who are you to tell me? And she's like, did you see how I turned out? That's why I'm calling.
How we turned out.
No.
And then I added another hour, and I kept adding an hour. And I would stay with that amount of time.
Right now we're like at 12. Right now we're like at 12 hours, you guys.
I want to go on vacation.
Just
take them
kidding.
for the weekend. No, but yeah, it just starts little by little, guys, and it's normal to have mom guilt. Cry it out. That's all I could say. I had a friend call me. She was leaving to Vegas, and she just called me and she just started crying, and I knew exactly why she was crying, and I told her, cry it out. It's okay. I said, you should cry. It's normal feeling. I said, but I promise you that he's going to have more fun without you. And sure enough, she texted me saying, oh my gosh, he is having a blast with my mom. So, ladies, cry. Men, cry. It's okay. Cry it out. Please do, and I will join you. Everyone, thank you so much for joining us. We will bring you along to the Kings game. Thank you.